Heard something.
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from?
He's working at the cannery.
Huh? What? I wasn't...
Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's hot... Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Got a knack for being discreet-like? There's money to be made, long as you keep your nose clean. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Four workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig. Yeah? former people, yeah. Marauders been raiding my graves, you see. Oh no. They are after the most precious loot. If those marauders swipe any more bodies out of my cemetery... You could look at it that way, I suppose. But you'd be wrong. Every now and again, a virulent plague sweeps through our town. That's life on the frontier. Definitely not the... If you've got business inquiries, you should stop by Reed Thompson's office. He's up in the tower. Yeah? The colony ship? Are you talking about that old rumor? Ain't heard that one since I was but a stripling. Can't say it was terribly convincing. All right, easy. Maybe you've been out in the sun too long. Why do you... Look, I don't know what's got you caterwauling about hope this and colony that, but you... Trouble's in the asking. Or don't much care for folk running their mouths, spreading hoaxes and the like. Some...
They start. Keep your distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
I appreciate the company and all, but you really ought to leave. You don't want to be seen around me. Because I'm sick. You don't want to associate with people in the sick house. We're not worth your time. I'm in about as much trouble as I can be. Figured it was obvious. I got sick. Couldn't get... Maybe you don't know this, but there's a... Don't. Please. I could get into a lot. That's kind of you to say, I suppose. Company always tells us. Weak spirits lead to weak bodies. You've got Adrena time? How? No, I don't. I'm feeling a touch faint. I've...
Move along.
You don't want me breathing on you.
Waste company ammo! And stay down, miscreant! No prisoners! Waste company ammo!
Please don't touch anything. Your hand... Physical hygiene recapitulates moral... So everyone says. Until someone... I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet spec... You will also report to me in the event of your death. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my... As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I Edgewater is built on the discipline and sacrifice of its people. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay, and that I fully expect to have my Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. What can I do? What can I do for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doc? You may think that, but the tidiness of my fellow worker is my... Whether you're showing up to work or going to that great cannery in the sky. Go ahead. The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. Fever, chills, fatigue, whatever it may be, I have developed my own company policy, friend. We don't. Nature is mon. I am never want. As the good vicar says, work fortified. What can I do for you?
Another day at the cannery.
Don't go knocking your work. At least we've got work. It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice. And before you ask, music to my ears. It's not the best. You ought to go have a talk with the boss. Go right. Other than yourself, definitely the vicar. Don't get me wrong. He seems but there's something about him that bothers me. Plague? I don't know anything about a plague. I take umbrage. Some of us who get sick are liable to exaggerate the conditions of that sickness, but Spacer's Choice is built on love. Medical treatment is commensurate with our value to society. Spacer's Choice will dispense then the hand of medical science will not grace you with its touch. Listen, you mind if we talk about something else?
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna pass.
Just keep working. Work fortifies the spirit.
Another day at the cannery.
Don't go knocking your work. At least we've got work.
Just gotta keep our heads up.
Never seen you here before. Welcome. On behalf of the Spacer's Choice... Edgewater, Jewel of the Vale. May the law bless our productivity. Oh, it's fine. I'm only on my third bottle. I don't start heaving up my guts as long... Company lets me imbibe as much zero-G brew as I can afford. Even gave me a discount on account of my injury. You jealous yet? Yep. Got my mitt stuck in a rotor wheel. Shredded my wrist up real good. Conrad went and... Boss was real generous to me, though. Got myself a 5% discount on zero-G brew. After the second bottle, the only pain I feel is emotional. Hey, Conrad's a surgeon. Well, he's a That's some slick rap. Numb to the bone thanks to zero-G brew.
Read the latest report.
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
Only McDevitt's folk hadn't abandoned us.
Somebody's been
I don't get a lot.
Hey,
I don't know you. Uh-huh. The unreliable you... I don't know what you're about, but this here's a Spacer's Choice. Am I that easy to read? Yeah, we've been having some problems lately. If you're gonna have a drink, I'd like to ask that you do it with the... Traitors. The lot of them. Bunch of folk... Town's already struggling to make quotas. Bunch of lazy, shiftless rungly. Do you now? And what makes you think Mr. You want to talk to Mr. Thompson, try ignoring your duties. He'll summon you up to that great... Go ahead. Ugh, is this the start of a joke? Look, I don't know what you're blathering about. Anyhow, my world is these four walls. Let me make something clear. Spacer's Choice has been real good to me. I start gallivanting around outside the walls, poking around and... Won't ever catch me asking about the world outside. Else the... Keep it down, will you? We don't talk about the PLA-wide. I've said enough. People come here to drink their problems. If they wanted to face their... I don't know. You're the first to ask after me in some time. I'll give you that. My family's worked Spacer's Choice for 2 generations. Wanted to work in the sciences once upon a time. What happened, you ask? What always happened? I just didn't have the brains for it. Asked too many questions. Wasn't suited to the work. Now that I'm behind a bar, I can ask all the questions I want. Important ones. Don't talk to me that way, please. Spent many years just... Lab work ain't for me. What's wrong with that? It's good on... And... Not so fast. So... That right? I know that serial drama. They were playing it just... You're right. I don't believe you. I'd advise you to... Coming right...
Yes, Mr. Thompson. I'm fine, Mr. Thompson. Whoa, Well, you tell Mr. Thompson I'll be right at my post. Tomorrow. Bright and early tomorrow. Because I'm definitely not... And what are you doing here? Visiting? What? No. I mean, I might be. Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. I'm dying. I'm not long for this world. The date of my... It's plague. Has to be. Silas knows. I am? Look, I'll pay your fees. I don't want any trouble from Silas. But if you could see your way to freelancing for me, I could really use that. There's a cache of anthracillin tucked away in the old community center. Powerful stuff. Strong. I need you to break in. You oblige me with your haste. I think I feel the plague spread. I know that. Reed would have wrote me up. Constable would have locked me up and wrote me up. Could have gone. Somebody's been running around.
You're making a mistake working for Abernathy. Excuse me. I'm Esther Blaine, Spacer's Choice Actuary. I overheard your talk with... Abernathy is a well-known hypochondriac. Anthracillin is wasted on him. You're better off selling... All I'm saying is Abernathy's worked in this town longer than some of us been alive. How do I put this gently? I probably shouldn't tell you. All right, here's a summary. A lot of sick people in this town, and we don't have the medicine to treat them all. Can't reach out to corporate without crossing a river of red tape, so I'm reaching out to you. I'm paid better than Abernathy. Whatever he's giving you, I will do you one better. That's all I can ask. Somebody's been running a... Oh, I'm an actuary. That means I keep tabs on a worker's living expenses.
I've been feeling pretty low today.
Nothing I can do about that.
Welcome to the Spacer's Choice Constabulary. We are Halcyon. The office is writing up promotion. Purchased 3 criminal investigations and the 4... As a Spacer's Choice Constable, I am authorized to grant you leave. Know how to carry yourself in a fight? Cross them off and bring me their fingers. Just one per marauder, please. I'll dust off the old fingerprint roller. As long as your questions fall within the... His likeness decorates many a wanted poster. Do you... You are correct. An outstanding bounty has been posted for information. Unfortunately, the arrest of Mr. Wells falls outside. Wells is wanted by the board. If you have information related to the location of Phineas V. Wells. Any information regarding outstanding bounties and wanted criminals should be directed to Mr. Udon. Halcyon's original colony ship, now repurposed into a space station. Something else I can do for you? Interesting jumpsuit you've got. As long as you're... If this is a setup to a joke, you should know I've never found... I don't serve Edgewater. Edgewater in the... Spacer's Choice is a wholly... also known as the board. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. The bureaucracy...
almost lost a finger in the cannery today.
Hey, you hear about Wilson?
Heard Marauders got in.
Just between us, Wilson deserted. Lost his nerve. Ran off in the thick of night.
You kidding me? Damn. Always thought he was made of sterner stuff.
I think he was plagued. Guess he didn't want to die in the sick.
Got my sights on you.
sorry. I'll just be a minute.
Some whoreheads running around town talking about...
Carry on.
Sorry, I got a lot.
You're safer inside the walls.
I don't have time for this.
Some sort of freelancer?
Miss Holcomb, I need you to explain this with us. The grease monkey, Argo?
I'm sorry.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed... I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor, Pat.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may... There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's... Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Good law, no, I don't want you killing any... My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go, speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That is not a hypothetical I enjoy entertaining. We need Adelaide. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Tom.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot... You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and...
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank... If you could see your way to getting us our power back, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead. Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline in... Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as... But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by. Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding... some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of... Go ahead. It is my job to keep two eyes on my town. I am the steward of this place, and I wish you wouldn't say things like that. Yes, when I stand at my window and look out over my town, we are all part of the Spacer's Choice. I'm trying to remember 25 years, 26, when you get to my age, the year. I remember looking out this window and see times change. This is a Spacer's Choice town. Loyalty's got nothing to do with it, friend. Something...
We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. We better clear out of Mr. Thompson's office before we talk. Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the... Alls I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor... I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. About if what Mr. Thompson proposes to do is upright. Leaving Miss McDevitt's and maybe he can think of something else to try. Something we ain't. It's just an idea. That's all. Thanks. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, that's what my dad used to say. Where are we headed? That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got... Well, I don't know about normal. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy... Something you need?
You're safer inside. Don't make me report. Mr. Thompson.
You the new worker? Foreman Granger. Mind those words. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my pay. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. If you're not familiar with board law, law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Not half as awful as the... Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. When one of your workers commits a crime, in other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice. Look around. Edgewater ain't exactly swimming in luxury. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for... I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can... Somebody... I paid his burial fee.